Good evening. We welcome you to this session of our City Council meeting. We are ready to begin. We call our meeting to order, and we note that we have all council members present and attending a full quorum. We welcome you all here this evening, this big group. We'll begin with our opening ceremony. We will turn to Councilman Bueller for an introduction.
Thank you, Mayor. Dallin Aston is a resident of District 2, the Rockiness District in the council, and he's also going to be a junior at Granger High, and he's quite an accomplished musician. I asked him to come and play the national anthem for us today, and I think we should rise and listen to the national anthem.
Thank you very much. In whatever format it is done, it's always nice. Very much enjoy that. Thank you for coming this evening. Next on our agenda, we have the approval of the minutes from our June 10th, 2014 meeting. To the council then for comment or action. Councilman Vincent.
Mayor, I move for approval of the minutes of the June 10th, 2014 regular meeting.
Little housekeeping, sorry. We have the motion properly before us. Do we have a second?
Second.
Okay, Councilman Bueller has a second. Now we have the motion fully before us. Any discussion to approving the minutes? Seeing none, we'll place it for a vote then. All in favor of approving the minutes of June 10th, 2014, please say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed say no. Motion passes unanimously. Next we go to our next item on our agenda, which will be a proclamation. And we turn to Councilwoman Lang. She will be presenting that proclamation.
Tonight we have a proclamation declaring June 30th through July 6th, 2014 as Independence Week in West Valley City. Whereas Independence Week provides a time to celebrate the independence of the members of the community of West Valley City and the entrepreneurial spirit represented by our core of local independent businesses, and whereas the individual decisions every community member makes today affect the future of West Valley City, and whereas West Valley City's local independent businesses help preserve the uniqueness of the community and give us a sense of place, and whereas as West Valley City core of independently owned businesses give back to this community in goods, services, time, and talent, and whereas the health of West Valley City's economy depends on our support of businesses owned by our friends and neighbors. And whereas West Valley City's independent business owners and employees enrich community members' shopping experiences with their knowledge and passion, and whereas we celebrate Independent Week 2014, we acknowledge that the ability to choose the direction of West Valley City lies within each of us. Now therefore, we, the Mayor and City Council of West Valley City, Utah, do hereby proclaim the week of June 30th through August 6th, 2014 as Independent Week, and salute our community members and locally owned independent businesses who are essential to unique flavor of West Valley City and honor their efforts to make West Valley City a place we want to live and work.
Thank you. So that proclamation is June 30th to July. So.
Oh, sorry.
Well, it could be a month, but we're just going to do recognition of a week. All right. Thank you for that. Next, we will move on to our comment period. We do have two individuals who have signed up to speak. Paul C. Nichols, I believe it is. Mr. Nichols, if you would come forward to our microphone, and then if you would state your name and address for our record, and we will give you 5 minutes to speak on what you want.
Paul C. Nichols, I live at 5329 West, 4100 South. Lived there since 1958. And I'm here back to see what's happened with the traffic. I talked to you about it a little while ago. I see 2 cops today, but I see 900 cars going 100 miles an hour back and forth. I just wondered if anything's been done. They said they was looking at it. How, are they opening their eyes or what?
For your information, you go ahead and complete all your
That's-
comments, and then
well,
we'll
That and they tell me that today the postman says there's been 45 postmen hit on 40 to 5600 West. And he says it's all due to traffic. Can we slow it down, or how are we going to do it? I don't know. Okay.
Okay.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. We'll get to a response in just a moment. We also have Mike Markham to come forward. He is signed up to speak, and then we'll give some feedback.
Okay, Mike Markham, 3008 Alice Circle. Most people here know I'm really high on our community improvement codes and so forth. I'm much higher on it than probably some of you people are. But I can't tell you how hard it was to sit in that meeting today and keep my mouth shut when we were talking about different issues that were brought up, and we're talking about education. You can't educate laziness out of somebody, and you can't educate pride into them. Money talks. If they don't have the money, then it's like I've said many times, my biggest expense in taking care of my yard is my time and my sweat. We need to teach people how to spend some time and how to sweat. If you can't sweat, you don't have any money. A lot of jobs make you sweat. We need to get after these people. We need to get the police department after the unlicensed cars and boats. I called on a boat and a car a week ago, asked the police department to go by and please cite these cars. That's how they'll learn. They're both still sitting there with no citations on. The one car's been sitting in the street now for over a month with flat tires, spider webs growing off of it. So that tells me either I haven't had a policeman drive down Alice Way for over a month, or if we do, he's not doing his job. Unless he's looking, we got him broken up between traffic and crime prevention, I don't know. But we need to get police. But I did see the street sweeper stop behind the car and I'm assuming he sat there for a while. I was hoping he was writing down the license plate number of the car sitting there. I think that is what they're supposed to do. But I'm tired of coddling these people that don't give a crap about the city. We've got a lot of them out there, but you can't educate people to do what they need to do in pride. If they want weeds in their yard, like I said about the chickens, let them move to Erda. Let them move to some of these little towns where people don't care. I was driving through a section of about 8th North and just off of Redwood Road the other day. I got lost back in there, and you'd drive through and you'd see 4 or 5 houses that had great yards, and then on each side of the yard it would kind of peter out to terrible yards. And we're getting that same thing. And I'm going to keep calling, and if I don't get reaction on my calls, I'm going to quit calling code enforcement and I'm going to call you. Okay? Because we need to get something done in our city. I'm a traveling salesman. I was in Burley, Idaho one day. People asked me where I lived. And I told them West Valley. Oh, man, that's a tough area. This is coming out of Burley, Idaho. Maybe we need to get a plan and think maybe of a new city name. West Valley has always been connotated as a bad place. So what did we do? I've gone to school from East High School to Cypress High School. I've lived and gone to school all over this valley. West Side has always been looked down upon. Maybe we could go to Jordan. Maybe we could go to the city of Fairborn. I realize you put lipstick on a pig, you still have a pig, but at least we could start with the name change and do something. I'm not planning on moving, and I'm not going to get any easier on people. People move into this area. What about landlords? They have to have a business license to rent out their house. They don't renew their business license if their property isn't up to snuff. A business doesn't renew their business license unless their property is up to snuff. We've got a building right over here on the corner of 3500 South and 2700 West that is a brand new building. Got the Starbucks in it. Got the 2 phone stores in it. Nowhere's near adequate parking. They've not done anything in landscaping along 3500. We gave them a slide when all the construction was out there. Do you think they've stepped up? They don't even take their for rent sign out of the front yard. They just lay it down in the dirt. We got to get tough on these businesses. The old boy doesn't get his business licenses if he doesn't take care of his property. And I don't care who you are. Okay. And most people know my stance on taking care of the yard in the city. We've got to work on it. So, and one of the fellows that was running against you, he's probably one of the culprits with one of the worst yards in the neighborhood, and it still is. I drove past it the other day. Thanks.
Thank you. And that was the time. Timed it just right. Just practiced. Mr. Pyle, now to the city manager. Those were the only public comments that we had.
Thanks, Mayor. Quite often it seems like the only comments I make are in response to comments that are already there, but I won't be any different tonight. I'll just make quick to that. To the first gentleman that stood up, I know that we actually had ongoing traffic enforcement efforts there on 4100 South, even before he had come in speaking to that issue at the time. We made a number of citations. We apprehended actually a couple of greater level violation situations that were going on over there at the time, and I honestly have not followed up on it since that time. Figured that we had made effort, and as the gentleman noted, some at least presences over there on 4100 South. So really what I would do further from a recommendation standpoint at this point is I know our chief is very interested in those kinds of issues. So sir, if you'll come and talk to Chief Russo, I would recommend you do that, and he will work with you. And then as far as the other comment from Mr. Markham, I think everybody in the council knows that code enforcement is a big issue with me and always has been. And if we have problems along those lines, then maybe we do need to step up our enforcement a little bit further. That's all the comment I've got on that, sir.
Thank you. To the council now for comments. I think I would just say we appreciate you representing so many people who don't come in to express opinions. So we thank you for your comments. We do want to pay attention to those. No guarantee that we'll solve the problems, because some of these are ongoing and we just keep working on them. But we will do our best, and certainly, you know, I'm sure that the word will filter down to staff, and we have members of the departments here, so we will do our best to follow up on those. With that, now I'm getting signals that he wants to speak another time, but our rules say you can only speak once. Not that there's not time, but we have to set some rules and make everyone abide by them, so that when the time does come that everyone wants to speak, we can keep it in a reasonable time frame. But we'll certainly visit with you after the meeting. How's that? Now we go on to our resolutions. Next on our agenda is Resolution 14-106. This is to approve an agreement with Select Health. This is to provide insurance benefits and services for city employees. We have had great success. This is for a contract for the fiscal year 2014-2015, and we've had good success. There has been an increase in the contract, but well below the normal increase, because we've had a favorable utilization rate, and so the increase is 4%. I don't know if that's rounded, but 4% is the increase, which is very good for most government entities and businesses. So we're at a very good point. So that resolution, anything else we need to get on the record, Mr. Pyle? Okay. Then that resolution is before us to the council for comment and discussion.
Motion to approve resolution 14-106.
We have a motion to approve before us. Do we have a second?
Second?
Councilman Vincent, a second. Councilman Hume, the original motion. Any discussion to the motion to approve the new agreement with Select Health? Seeing none, we will place it for a vote. All in favor of the motion to approve, please say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed say no. Motion passes unanimously. We should note, for those of you who are here who may not be aware, we did study these items and talk about them in last week's study session of the City Council meeting, which is a public meeting. So this is our second go-around for these issues. We've had them for a week to ponder and to get feedback on if there is any. Next we go to Resolution 14-107. This is to approve an interlocal cooperation agreement with Salt Lake County for disbursement of TRCC funds at the Utah Cultural Celebration Center. TRCC is a committee set up by the county council for tourism, recreation, culture, and conventions. And they distribute funds around the county, and in order to receive those funds, we need to have an interlocal cooperative agreement. And this is related to $2,564,000 issued for a project at the Cultural Celebration Center. And there's been a lot of discussion of this over the past several months. Certainly there is information out on our website about the details of what we're proposing to do there. Anything else, Mr. Pyle, we need to get officially on the record, or have we covered that? Then to the council for action or discussion.
Mayor, I move for approval of resolution 14-107.
Okay, we have a motion to approve before us. Do we have a second?
Second?
Councilwoman Lang is the second. Councilman Nordfeld has the original motion. The motion is properly before us. And so, any discussion to the motion? Seeing none, we'll place it for a vote. All in favor of approving the interlocal cooperative agreement for the disbursement of TRCC funds, please say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed say no. Motion passes unanimously. Next, we go to Resolution 14-108, to award a contract to Kilgore Contracting for the 2014 asphalt overlay project. This is kind of a standard thing, and we have discussed previously the different areas of the city where they will perform this work in various levels of degree. These come from our Class C road funds. The total fiscal impact is a maximum of $962,850 for our annual project. Anything else we need to mention on that, Mr. Pyle?
No, sir.
Okay, that's the issue before us. To the council then for action or discussion. Councilman Rushton.
Thank you, Mayor. It's, as we award this contract and near $1 million to get out and maintain and fix some of the roads out there, it's nice that the company that we're awarding this to is a company that's not only the lowest bidder, but one that's location of business is West Valley City, and one that can also provide proof that they participate in hiring veterans and do job training and health insurance and other desirable outcomes of a top-notch company. And so with that being said, I would move that we approve Resolution 14-108 to award the contract for the asphalt overlay.
Thank you. The motion is before us. Do we have a second?
Second.
Councilman Bueller is the second. We have now the motion properly before us for further discussion. Seeing none, we will place it for a vote. All in favor of approving the awarding of a contract to Kilgore Contracting for our 2014 asphalt overlay project, please say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed say no. Motion passes unanimously. I believe that I'm not aware of a need for an executive session here. So that completes our regularly scheduled business. Seeing none else, one final motion.
Motion to adjourn.
We have a motion to adjourn. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed say no. Motion passed unanimously. We are adjourned.